Hey, hello champions. Welcome to this lab over versioning. And in this quick lab, we are going to see how the S3 versioning feature helps us as a backup tool. So let's quickly get started. So these are all the steps that we need to perform. Don't get overwhelmed. I'll walk you through this. So first is, we need to create a bucket, and here we'll create a demo 600. We need to ensure that the bucket is public, the versioning is enabled, and let's take a quick look at it. So once you are into the S3 console, okay, you need to click on create bucket, and here let's type a bucket name, that's demo 600. Make sure the bucket name is unique. So if you create the bucket with the same name, you may or may not be able to create. Okay, now here ownership, object ownership, make sure you have kept this as ACL enabled. Okay, go with the default object ownership of bucket owner, and as already said, we need to ensure this bucket is public. So I'll uncheck this, because if we check it, that means it will block all the public access, and we are making this public so that we are able to see the files that we put in the bucket. So it's very important the bucket to be public for us to able to see that files. We need to acknowledge this because we are making the bucket as public. This is a feature where we can enable the versioning. So defaultly it is disabled. We need to click on enable, and as discussed in theory, the only way to stop versioning is suspend it and not disable. We cannot disable it once enabled. So you can scroll down, keeping the rest of the options as default. We say create bucket. Okay, so the bucket is created, and now let's move on to the next step. So let's create a file, that's demo.txt. Okay, so we have this demo.txt file, and let's type the content as, okay, so this is version 1.0. okay, and I will save this. This is version 1.0, and let's go inside this bucket to upload this file. So I'll click on upload. I'll say add files. I'll say demo. You can see the file. Click on upload, and if I go into the bucket, so click on the destination bucket, so you can see the file is already there. Now the fact that the bucket is public but the file is not, so let's check whether we are able to see that file or not. So what I'll do is I'll quickly right click this file and open a new tab. That way I'll get the object URL. Okay, so this is the object URL. If I right click and open a new tab, you could see I got access denied. So just because the bucket is public but the object is not. So if I come back to my steps, okay, so we created a file demo.txt, and you can see you are not able to see this file. The only way to see this file is make that object or that file public, and then we should be able to see the content. So I'll again come back to S3 bucket. I'll select this object, go to actions, and make public using ACL. This is why we selected ACL as an option, and we say make public. And now if I again refresh this file, you can see I'm able to see this version 1.0. This was the original content of my file. So I'll come to S3 bucket once again. I'll click on the bucket name. So I'm into demo 600. And now let's see, where do I see the versions? So this is a normal UI where you would be able to see the file. But if you see here, show versions, which is disabled right now, if you toggle it to the right, you would be able to see different versions. But since right now this is very first version, so we are able to see only one file over here. So let's go ahead to create second version of this file. So what we will do is I'll again go to this demo.txt, and I'll change the version to 2.0, and I will save this. Okay, and this file I'm saving in my editor on my laptop. Okay, and let's move back to the bucket once again, and let's upload this version 2. So it's the same file with the same name but different content out there, different version you can say. So I'm uploading the same demo file, and I'll say upload. Now one important thing to note, okay, what do you think? If I access this file, will I be able to see it or not? So let's refresh this same URL once again, and you would see we got again access denied. The fact being, so it's a file we uploaded newly. Okay, it's a new version, new file, though with the same name, and we did not make it public. Hence, we are not able to see this, and we get error message access denied. So again, we need to, every time we upload a file, we need to make it public if we want it available to the public in the UI. So I'll say make public once again, and yeah, it is public now. So if I refresh this page again, now you would be able to see the content, latest content, that's version 2.0. So now let's check the versioning. Okay, so let's go to the bucket demo 600. Okay, and we are able to see the same one file, but if you go to the versioning, so just toggle it to the show versions and you would be able to see two versions now. So this version, it's a version 1.0. This version, it contains 2.0. Now let's go ahead to upload the new version, which is, let's say, version 3.0. So I'll just change the content to 3.0 and I'll say this is the best version. Okay, so going back to the steps, okay, we changed the version to version 2, made it public, we were able to see the content, and now we changed the content of same demo.txt to version 3. We'll make it public and we'll change the content. So again, now you won't be able to see this content unless you kind of make the file public. So I'll upload the latest file. So I'll say upload, add files. Let's add the version 3. So this is the version 3 of the file. I'll say upload. It got uploaded, and definitely it won't be public. So I'll click on the file and I'll go into actions, make public using ACL, and I'll make this as public. And now if I refresh the same URL, you see I can get the latest content. Okay, so this was a demo. We came from version 1, 2 to 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now, important part here, we are able to see the 3 different versions. So let's take a look on how we can see the 3 different versions out here. So if I go back to the bucket, so though you would see the same one object here, again, we will click on to the show versions. You would see 3 different versions here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, but public would be able to see only the latest or the top version out here. Now, what if the bucket or the file is deleted? We agreed that or in the future we studied that versioning acts as a backup tool. So what if I say, let's say by mistake, if we delete this file, so let's say we click this file in the bucket and we say delete. So here I'll mark as delete. So whether intentionally or by mistake, we deleted those files. So if I go into bucket, you would see there is no file or no object in this bucket right now. In the demo 600, there is no object out here. But if I click on show versions, you will see all 3 versions along with a delete marker. So you would see this is the latest version which got deleted and it has got a delete marker. Now, the way to restore it is delete the delete marker. Now, I know this might sound a little confusing, but the way I remember it is like negative into negative, that's positive. So we deleted the file. We are not able to see those in the normal S3 bucket, but we are able to see the delete marker in the versioning tab. If you delete the delete marker, that means the latest version would be restored. So let's try it. So if I click on delete marker and I say delete, I'll say permanently delete, as you can see in the gray. So write permanently delete. Make sure you are typing the spellings correctly. And now you can see deleted objects is restored. So if I go back to the bucket, you would see in the bucket, we would be able to see the object same demo.txt right now. Okay, so you can see the demo.txt. And now my question to you is, what if I access the same file once again? Would I be able to see the content or not? So the answer is yes, I would be able to see the content because the original last version of demo 3, it was already public. So if I refresh this, you can see I can see the same content. Now the question is, how do I switch back to the second version? So first, let's come back to our steps. So we noticed the 3 version. We deleted demo.txt. We noticed there is a delete marker, and to restore, we deleted the delete marker, and that's how we were able to restore our latest version, that's version 3.0. Now the question is how to come back to the lower version. Let's say I want people to see the version 2.0. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my bucket Okay. And here I will say click on show versions. And now to delete so I want to come back people to see this the second version. So what I'll do is I'll delete this third version. Okay. So I'll click on that. Note that I am not in my bucket. I am in my show versions. So I'll click on the latest version and I'll click on delete. And again, I'll mark, type as permanently delete. Make sure, you type the spelling correctly. And this time when you are deleting it from the version, and when you say delete object, it is permanently deleted. So the latest version is permanently deleted. And let me show you that. So if I click on demo 600, note that this time I did not delete it from the bucket. So in the bucket, the object would still exist. But if I click on the show versions, you would see the latest version was gone, like 3, and there are only 2 versions. And now this second version is the latest. So if I refresh the same link once again, you would see we are back to version 2.0. So make sure you understand what we did here. We deleted the latest 3.0 version from the versioning window, and we are back to 2.0. Now, important point, let's delete the bucket. So, when we are into bucket, sorry, let's come back to the bucket, demo 600 bucket. And before, since there might be many objects, so we'll have to empty out the bucket here. So first we'll click on the bucket and we'll say click empty. We won't say delete because Amazon doesn't let you delete until the bucket until it is empty. So let's empty out the bucket. So let's empty out the bucket first. So this would delete all the objects inside that bucket. And now when we come to S3, sorry, let's say exit. Now, if you click the bucket and you click delete, you need to type the bucket name. So demo 600, I'll say delete bucket, and the bucket is gone. So I'm able to delete the bucket. So make sure you understand this, all the concepts in versioning, and make sure you repeat all those labs. I hope you love this. So then give it a shot and write your 3 to 5 key learnings in the comment section. I will look forward to see you in another lab with another interesting scenario. So take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.